things, but children are just naturally bubbly
Yeah.
until we start like infecting them with other things, right?
Exactly.
So I understand what you mean. It's a great pick me up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to do any other thing. Right?
Nothing else. I think why can't y'all?
Exactly.
Like you say, you can't get through the city because of the traffic.
Yep.
You rather
things. We're actually teaching the kids, right? And that is such a slap in the face when they call us babysitters, when we took the classes, when we
how you know that may be causing you to have to pay a teacher time and a half now.
Yep.
You have to be able to recoup that time and a half amount.
Yep.
And so
as a result, I get repeat customers. They
Right.
have more children. They send their children, they tell their friends about us, so it's a lot of word of mouth is how we
know that you wanted to save others. I know it was a transformation, and I'm being honest. I know it was a transformation. I know it was probably heavy for you.
It was.
It was probably. Hey, my friends. Welcome to another episode of the Childcare Teacher Chronicles Podcast, where we talk about all things childcare, but specifically as it relates to the teachers. I am here with another horror hitter, another impactful, another homegrown, one of New Orleans' own, Tashika Honore with the Love Center, 24-hour childcare centers, right? Yes. Tashika, thank you so much for being here on today. I want to give you the opportunity to tell the audience who you are, a little bit about yourself, and what brought you into early education.
Okay. Well, as she said, I'm Tashika Honore. I am 40 years old. I've been in childcare for Lord Jesus.
Oh, don't say Lord Jesus.
It's a long time. over 18 years. That's
Okay,
how long
yeah.
I have been doing this. I've always been passionate about working with children. I actually started off when I was 13, babysitting and tutoring. And I always knew I wanted to do something with children, right? And so I actually worked in my first daycare when I was 15.
Okay.
I know that's illegal, but I did work. I did get paid.
I ain't gonna lie, I was 14.
Okay, so you know, right?
Back in the day.
It was a home daycare, right?
Well,
And the
was a
lady
sinner.
trusted me, and she left me with the children, and that's how I started off, right? And ever since then, I just been working in childcare, basically, right? I did other jobs, of course, but I was always brought back to childcare, right? Just give you a little history. I was actually a pharmacy technician.
Okay.
And I was about to go back to school to be a pharmacist, right?
Okay.
And then Katrina hit.
Yes.
So that, that derailed me, right?
Yes.
And then, so I'm out there working as a pharmacy technician, and my sister calls me, my sister Malika. She calls me. She was like, "You want to start a daycare center?" I said, "Yeah, I love children." So it pulled me right back in to the daycare, and I've been doing it ever since. I just love working with children.
Right.
I know a lot of people say that, but it makes me happy.
Right.
If I'm having a bad day, guess what? I go in there. You already know they're going to give you a hug and they're going to make you feel good, right?
They bubbly personality. They don't have a sense of fear or disappointment or they get anger and things, but children are just naturally bubbly until we start infecting them with other things, right?
Exactly.
So I understand what you mean. It's a great pick me up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to do any other thing, right?
Nothing else?
Nothing else. This is what I love to do. This is the only thing I want to do. It has to surround children, right?
Okay. Well, since you're talking all that smack about this, all I want to do.
It is. It's the only thing I want to do is love on my babies.
Okay, but it's a little bit more than just having to deal with them babies, right?
Got to deal with these parents.
So our topic on today is entitled parents and unrealistic expectations.
Jesus.
What families don't understand about childcare. Have you ever ran into some entitled parents in your center?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, she said that like that's a norm. That's just what we do.
Oh yeah, they're definitely entitled. They feel like basically I'm going to spend my whole day just with their child. Like I don't have 10 other children in the classroom to tend to.
So that's entitled and unrealistic.
Exactly.
Okay, so I figured that this would be a good topic because, as you said, you all have been in the game for a long while. You and your sister Malika Honore, shout out Malika, math credit,
hey girl.
Look, she has so much going on. But I met Malika through a mutual acquaintance, and we started talking about childcare and just other businesses and other ventures. And she had so much knowledge and information about childcare. Now, she said that this was a family business. As you said, you all went into it together. You all have two establishments. So you definitely had to have your fair share of parents who was entitled. What is one of the main requests you hear parents ask for that's just unrealistic?
One of the main things I would say would be to just, you know, make sure that their child is basically so okay. So you know how we teach, the ABCs and one, two, threes and tracing and stuff like that. They want me, like I said before, to just basically sit down with their child all day long, right? This is a group setting. Right. This is yeah, it's a group setting. It's not a smaller, it's not individualized care. So I cannot, that is the main thing. I cannot just sit down realistically, right, y'all, and just teach this one child. Of course, if this child is it needs extra help, of course, I'm gonna on my downtime pull that child to the side and I'm gonna work with them, right? Um Another entitlement is that I should stay open later, not the 24-hour daycare center, the other daycare center, to tutor children. Oh, you should. With no extra pay. Oh, just because you should. Yes. Just because they feel like you're supposed to do that for them. Yes, because they pay their weekly tuition on time. So this is something I should do. Like, this is a partnership, right? So if you would do the homework that I send home, right? Your child will be up to par. Right. But a lot of times they're not even doing the homework. Do the homework because this is a partnership, right? And so a lot of times when kids are not where they should be, it's because we're just doing it at the daycare center and they're not doing it at home. It could be lack of support at home. And you know what? I'm gonna have a real transparent moment with y'all. Tashika, you just came knocking on my door. You don't even know it. Okay. We was filming for the podcast earlier and I had a missed call from one of my children's teachers. Okay. And so as soon as I had a chance to get to the phone, I called her back and she called to let me know that my child had not been turning in homework. Well, no, not that he had not been turning homework. He has not been giving his all in the homework he's been turning in. Okay. She can tell like some of the words and paragraphs he's putting together is something he's copying off of Google. You know, he using real sophisticated words and shit that he words he can't even pronounce, right? And so when this what she asked though, what is the routine for homework? I said, well, damn. What is the routine? You know, I said, well, as of late, we call them all down to the table and they have to sit in the living room and do homework. But before then, all school year long, all right, go do your homework. And they up in their rooms doing their homework. And me as a parent, just like I say, you knocking on my door, you don't even know it. I don't even know if they doing it right or completing it. Because I'll be honest, I get busy with my own shit. That's different, Stacey, because he's older, right? True. He should be more accountable. You're right. Yeah. And so we're talking about baby, smaller kids who need the guidance. You already did what you were supposed to do, so now you trust that he's gonna do what he's supposed to do. You let me off the hook. I am letting you off the hook because how old is he? He's about to be 13, 12. No, that's on him. Yeah, he grown. You grown. Do your work, son. Do your work. Have these teachers calling your mama, boy. I know. But no, you are right. The younger kids do need guidance. Yes. They still need us to kind of sit with them, show them how to hold the pencil, go over the words that they're tracing and things like that. So you're absolutely right. Which that actually went into my question. What's the common misconception parents have about childcare teachers, what they can or should do? And that is one. They feel like you have to personalize your day around their child. Exactly. You know, it is not a one-on-one service. It's not individualized care. And then, like you say, the audacity for them to want you to stay late. Audacity. Like you don't have a family and a life and children of your own. Come on now. Come on, somebody. Right. So let me ask, what's one thing you wish parents knew before dropping their child off at the center? One thing I wish parents knew. I think that if they knew how important it is to set the tone, right? Ooh. To set the tone for a child's day, right? Ooh. So if you're in a bad mood, right? If you're sad, anxious, right? You're going to put that onto your children. Don't start your child's day off like that, right? If you're happy, the child is going to be happy versus going to school
Tashika.
versus driving to school angry, mad, sad,
What about on the
whatever.
phone? They trying to come through the door on the phone, which tell you they probably was on the phone the whole ride to the school. They ain't paid not one bit of attention to the
Not one
child.
attention.
Not have a good day. Make sure you talk to your friends. Wipe yourself when you use the bathroom. Tell me what you did.
Exactly. Like you can spend this time to find out about your child. Find out if who's your child's friends, what's their names, right? Because we already know you're working an 8-hour shift. It take an hour to get to work. It take an hour to get back, right? So you really don't know
10
what's
hours
going
they
on.
gone.
It's gone.
Right.
It's gone. So you can use that to find out who's your child's friend, right? You can talk about your feelings, right? For me, what I did with my children, right? I talked about the no-touch zones, okay? Yes, I'm plugging it in, y'all. I'm plugging it in the no-touch zones, right?
Yeah,
because
we gonna definitely talk about that.
You never know what your child is going through, right? Because we're so busy with our day-to-day lives, we're not thinking about our children. Our children have feelings too, right? And one of the things I did, because I am a survivor of abuse, right? I talk daily. I ask my children, who's your friends? What happened? Did anybody do anything to you? Do you know what the no-touch zones are? And
what's your teacher's name? Do you like your teacher?
Exactly.
Let's talk about the teacher.
Let's talk about the teacher. Like, what's going on? You know, what's your favorite color? What do you do in school? So it's so much you could be doing versus being angry. Set your child up for success. We all go through things, but we don't want to put that on our children at all. So start your day off right, because now you're making the teacher's jobs harder, right? Because now they are upset and anxious because
and they don't even know why. They just got transferred energy.
Yeah, you yelling at the children, got the baby crying before they're going daycare.
And not even angry sometimes, Tashika. Sometimes it's a matter of too busy. You know, you're juggling too many things. You have so much, and probably rightfully so. There's a lot of single mothers, a lot of single fathers. There's grandparents who step in and try to help. But setting time to be intentional about pouring into the child before you drop them off, right? As they walk through the door, and even pick up. You know, so many times the parents come to pick it up and they what? On the phone. They not paying attention. They just ready to get them in the car. How's your day? What's going on? Being intentional.
That's one of my things we talk about in orientation. Do not come in my facility on your phone. Because guess what? It might be something that I need to tell you about your child, but I can't tell you because you're on the phone. So now when you come tomorrow, when I tried to tell you that your baby needed formula and I gave you that daily, you didn't read it, you balled it up, right? So I tried to tell you verbally, right? Now you upset because now you got to go get a can of formula.
Right? You should have told them the day before.
Exactly. But they were too busy on the phone. Why you didn't tell me? Mama, you know the policy.
Right.
You were on the phone when you walked in.
Right. And I'm not going to compete with your conversation to tell you what you need for your child.
Exactly.
So you absolutely right. But so that goes into my next question.
Okay.
Have you ever had a parent try to tell you how to do your job?
Girl.
Let's talk about it. The entitled parents and unrealistic expectations.
Entitled parents. It's so funny to me that how parents are so uneducated when it comes to potty training, right? Parents try to tell me about potty training like I haven't done this for years.
Like
this
you
is
ain't
your
potty
first
trained
child.
a bunch of
Exactly. And so she's like, so let me tell you the story. So I have this baby. She moved up to the 2-year-old classroom. The 2-year-old classroom is the potty training classroom, right? Baby only been in the classroom a week. A week.
1 week.
Isn't this the potty training class? She come ask me. I was like, yeah. She was like, well, she's not potty trained. Are you serious?
No.
I said, well, Mom, it takes longer than that. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Your baby could barely say chicken nuggets. She says chicken nuggets.
Right.
Okay, so, and she's not even saying she needs to go to the potty or you doing it at home. We just started. And so I have to sit down, give them information on potty training, right? And it's just so funny to me that because parents who don't want to pay for diapers,
right?
They're ready to rush them, right? And so now you're causing anxiety in the children,
right?
You can't rush these children. This takes time.
You're putting that stress on them.
And even once they're potty trained, it takes time anyway. So they may, do a number one in the pull up, but not a number two.
Right.
takes time.
Right.
So that's just one of the stories. I thought it was so funny. I was looking at her like this.
But no, actually,
A week?
at my centers, I tell the parents we don't potty train.
Okay.
We work with the parents in potty training.
Yeah.
So don't think that we gonna come here and teach your child how to potty, how to wipe. When you start working on it, and we gonna give you the keys and the clues, like you said, you know when the children start showing signs, you know when they ready and they able to handle it.
Yeah.
We gonna let you know. We notice it, and you notice it. Come on, let's work together. But don't think you're gonna send your child to us for us to potty train
And
them.
you're not even doing it at home.
And you're not even doing it at home.
Crazy.
Not as soon as they get home, they get a diaper put on them.
But that is one of the things that they always tell me how to potty train. You come do it then.
That's, you know.
You come do 10 children and teach them how to potty train.
That's what we need them volunteer hours. Come volunteer for that.
Exactly.
So what's the most ridiculous request you've ever gotten from a parent?
I have two.
well,
So let me start. First, I want to start off the recent one. So you know we have closures for Mardi Gras, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can't get around the city. We're closing early for 3 o'clock every day, or the children not gonna get picked up on time, right? So I'm telling her this. It been out for 3 months, right? Sending notifications and Bright Wheel is posted everywhere. So she tells me, you're gonna stay open later.
Oh, she told you.
She told me.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay open later, or she's gonna go home with me, or she's not paying the full tuition.
Oh, okay. So you're ready for CPS to be called on you.
Exactly.
For your abandoned child.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And I say, so we didn't discuss this in orientation. I like to bring everything back to orientation. Right. I don't remember discussing this in orientation. So you know, man, let me go get your file.
That's right. Documentation is what?
Let me go get your file is key.
Thank you.
Put it up. I say, isn't this your signature? Isn't this... You signed this, right? You say you understood the policy, right? That we will have closure days. That tuition is still due in full, right? I say, hold on. Open up your Brightwell app for me.
Come on.
I say, you see this? You see this? I say, do you see these signs? And we told you verbally, and I was like, oh my God, the entitlement.
The
entitlement. And another one was a parent wanted me to keep a child up during nap time. Not a 2-year-old, not a 3-year-old, a baby.
Why?
A baby. So she could get rest that night.
That's not developmentally appropriate for that baby. That baby little body needs to recharge.
So I was like, so you expect me to not let this baby go to sleep? I said, we don't do this here.
Right.
I said, but you are free to find another daycare facility that will do that. I said, but that's not something that I recommend, right? You can have this child upset, cranky, tired, like babies are on their own sleep schedule. It's just something that happens when they're babies. When they get older, they may sleep all day, but you know, all night. But right now, that's not what I'm gonna do. And she was dead serious. She looked me in my eyes, Stacey,
and really wanted that.
And she wanted that, and she was serious.
And didn't care about how cranky, how upset, how fussy, how much that was going to affect that baby.
That was going to affect that baby and have the whole center upset. I would never even agree to anything like that. So that was crazy.
Right. Well, and that goes back to like that sense of entitlement. And let's be very clear, we're not talking about all parents, right?
Not all.
There are some. So those of you all who don't fit the bill, don't come under my page posting and talking stuff, because we ain't talking about you.
Scroll past.
But the funny thing is, even now more so than ever, more centers, at one point, childcare centers wouldn't close to save their lives. We got to be open and we got to work for the parents and they need us and done. And then we started to realize, well, shit. Yeah. We got children, we got families, our employees got families, they have children. What do we do then? They need a break too. So when the whole city shut down for Mardi Gras, why can't y'all?
Exactly.
Like you say, you can't get through the city because of the traffic.
Yep.
You rather us have to call you and tell you come pick your child up because we don't have a teacher because they can't get past the floats? You know?
Exactly.
The reality is parents need... Not all parents. Some parents need to realize your teachers need to reset themselves. Oh, yeah. Your teacher need time off. When their kids are out of school, they need to be able to be there with their children. When there are holidays and breaks, why should your staff have to work for a holiday so another parent could stay at home by themselves and enjoy their holiday?
Exactly.
That's that entitlement.
We don't want to burn out our teachers.
Absolutely not.
We want to keep them refreshed and ready to teach our babies.
Right. And so it makes me think, like, what do parents think happen in child care centers versus what actually happens? And when I say that, what I mean is, you know how you use the term daycare, and that's a loosely used term. Now, a lot of people are getting away from that because they don't want that stigma to be there, like we just babysit.
Learning
Right.
academies.
Right. Absolutely. So, do parents really know what all the teachers do in these centers, or do they have this make believe that they just watching the kids, they just running around?
I do believe that they believe that we are babysitters when childcare is so much more than that, right? So we, we teach social skills. We're educating your children. It's just a host of things that we're doing. Of course, yeah, we're changing diapers and wiping noses, but we're juggling a whole lot of different things. We're actually teaching the kids, right? And that is such a slap in the face when they call us babysitters. When we took the classes, when we have 1,000 clock hours in education, right? We take this seriously, right? We want to make sure that the kids are getting everything that they need. We're not a babysitting service, and a lot of people think we're just sitting on our phone scrolling, just watching the children play, when we're actually interacting with the children. We're teaching the children. We're doing learning through play, right?
Lesson plans,
lesson
individualized lesson plans. And let's talk about, let's just be honest. Let's talk about the amount of children who seem to need more care and more attention right now. I'm not gonna say special need or spectrum or but there are more children now that requires more individualized attention and care. We have one child that I was in before he even come in the door, his shoes off, and he run the whole damn time. I mean, he run. And if I could be very honest and transparent, this child got out of our eyesight twice. They was coming inside from the playground. As they getting the kids in, he took off and went back outside. Teacher never noticed him because she trying to shuffle the kids in. He did this 2 different times. So now when we go inside, this how you go inside with him.
Because right you don't want to lose him.
You don't want to lose him. And I mean, he'll probably be out there just chilling. But there's so much more that the teachers have to do and be mindful of now. And to be honest, I feel like there are a great bit of parents that gives them no grace. And I've said this before. Parents can fail and mess up and forget and oops and things like that. But the minimumest thing that may occur in the center, or they call it licensing, they call it CPS, they trying to sue you. Now your insurance going up or you can't renew because the expectations are not realistic.
It's not at all. And that's crazy. That's really crazy. But you want us to be understanding when your child comes in and fall and skins their knees. But if they fall at daycare center, like you said, it's the end of the world, right? But their children, they're going to fall. They're going to hurt themselves. Give us some grace, right?
Right.
We love your children. We don't want anything to happen to your children at the end of the day.
Right.
And like you say, it's just unrealistic, right? All children have accidents. It's just gonna happen. It's a part of life. I fell down, you fell down, we still alive. It's okay.
Right. We didn't die. We got up. Okay. So tell me something. What is there something you think parents do that make your job 10 times harder?
You know what? I'm gonna say setting a routine. Right?
Ooh, girl, you so good. You so good.
Setting a routine. And what I mean by that, right, is their bedtime is for 8 p.m., right? They're in the bed. They're well rested in the morning time, right? Because what happens is when you don't do that and they're up on those tablets and watching TV till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, they're coming in the daycare center.
You're dragging them in the
You're dragging them in there. And guess what? I got to let your baby take a nap. They done missed the whole lesson, right? Because I'm not going to have them in here cross, angry, frustrated, because now they're going to lash out at the other children because they didn't get what they needed at night. So now I got to let them go to sleep.
You so good, because I wouldn't. I'd be calling them to pick them up. If you cannot, if I'm dead ass serious, girl. If you cannot participate in the daily activities, you need to go home.
It's the truth.
You need to go because now you have a teacher trying to teach a class, but also trying to watch a sleeping kid, and that's not fair to that teacher,
it's not
right?
Fair. It's not.
You need to go home with your mama. You that tired? Go home with your mama.
And you tell them, and they still do it anyway. You have to set a routine.
You start sending their ass home, they're gonna set a routine. I guarantee you that they can't. And this in our exclusion policy. If the child cannot participate in the daily activities, they need to go home.
well, listen, I need to see your orientation and
Oh,
your
girl, we could
registration
talk
so we
about it.
can collab and I can take some of that. And
And it's not a punishment to the parent. Get me when I say that it's literally was fair to the teacher,
Mhm.
it was fair to the other students, and it was fair to that sleeping child. If
Yeah,
the child needs rest and is tired, it doesn't need to be in the school environment. It needs to be at home in his bed because
exactly.
like I said, the teacher can't tend to all these other kids and then watch their sleeping clear.
Yeah.
Then you have a fire drill. What happened? You trying to run out with all your kids and get all your kids? Shoot,
And
forget the damn
and
sleeping
the baby is
child.
sleeping. And
Yes.
once again, we're not babysitters, right?
Right.
They're there to learn.
Absolutely.
Put those
Absolutely.
babies to sleep on time at
Absolutely.
night, y'all. Okay.
Absolutely. So no, but I think that is extremely well. Like we even teach that to our teachers in the centers how important a routine is. I'm sure like you, we all have daily schedules in the classroom. So the children, the teachers have certain
Yes.
things they do at certain times, and it brings a routine. And children actually like routine.
They look forward
They
to
like
it.
order.
Yes.
They actually don't do well in chaos. That's why they whine and cry, and you like, oh my God, what the hell
What's
is going on?
Yeah.
Because they've fallen out of their routine. So I think, even having those communications consistently with the parents, and you just giving me something to think about in our communications with our parents in our newsletters.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have a great nighttime routine. Make sure when you're dropping off in the morning, speak to your baby and encourage them to have a great day. And when you pick up,
Exactly.
talk to them about what they, even the infants,
Yep.
even the babies,
Yep.
have those conversations. So that is something that would definitely make our day a little easier.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Absolutely.
If our baby's coming in all happy
Versus
versus unhappy. Yeah.
Cross, pamper food, the goof
Don't
girl.
even get me started about these parents bringing these babies in here soaking wet
Soaking
and
wet.
then get mad if they just did an accident right before we handed them over, like they was sitting in it all day.
And knowing they come in pissy every day.
But I digress.
Not you though, not y'all parents. We talking about them other parents, not y'all parents. Okay. Woo. So have you ever had to hold back from telling the parent exactly how you felt?
So if anybody know anything about me, I really don't hold back. I feel like we could sit down and have it. Come on, mama.
Let's talk.
We about to sit down and have this conversation right now. I want to see where you're coming from, and I need you to see where I'm coming from. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I first started off, I did because I was afraid. But now I've been doing this. Because you know what? It's going to cause problems.
You're right.
If you don't address it, it's going to keep happening. Nope.
Right.
We're going to talk about this right now.
Right. Let's call it to the
And one
coffee.
thing I don't allow is disrespect to myself or my teachers, right? Let's talk about this. And so I'm gonna say 99% of the time I can resolve a situation. Yeah. Because I think they appreciate how real I am and how understanding I am for as hearing their side and just kind of trying to come to a medium, right? And I kind of go work the situation out. It's a rare situation where I can't have a conversation with a parent and they don't receive it. And if they don't receive it, they gotta go. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think it's key where you say you to be able to have that conversation. I tell parents all the time when they come into our establishments, it has to be a trusting relationship. Yeah. Like you can't go into any child care center without trusting that establishment. You can't leave your children, right? Yeah. And so that the sole foundation of that is starting with communication. Like you say, having those one-on-ones, being very transparent. I tell parents all the time, we are a real life child care center with real life teachers. Shit gonna happen at times. It's gonna happen. Your child gonna fall, like you say, they may get bit, or something gonna happen. Yep. But we gonna make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's and do our best to ensure that their safety, right? So let me tell you, how do you handle it when a parent blames you for a child's behavior? Oh wow. So the biggest thing is my child doesn't do this at home, right? Not my child. They must have learned it from the daycare center, right? So the first thing I be thinking in my mind before you say that, let me get on my high. They must have learned it from the daycare. That sound like they got sick at the daycare center. You already know that you know the viruses and illnesses just sprouts at the daycare center. All children. Not that somebody bought a sick child in the child care center, which is how another child may have gotten sick at the child care center. But okay, I just had to shed light on that too. They must have gotten the bad behavior from the child care center. Okay, must have. Go ahead.
Bring me back to the question. I'm sorry. I got
No, you fine. How do you
captivated by your
I know.
words.
How do you handle when a parent blames you for a child's behavior?
Oh, back to it. Back to it. So when they blame me, I kind of deflect and then bring it full circle back around. So what I do is, oh, I noticed Johnny has been hitting other kids unprovoked. Listen to my word, unprovoked. So you're listening. The parent hear me. Their face is either gonna frown or they gonna listen to what I gotta say. I have been noticing that Johnny has been hitting unprovoked, right? I notice he when he gets frustrated and he doesn't want to share, that he is lashing out at others. Maybe we can figure out how we can redirect him. And then I ask them, is he doing this at home, right? And if they are still like blaming me or blaming the center, I let them know that, it is my goal to work on his social skills, right? And I just reinforce again, like, hey, this is something that has to happen here as well as at home. But you can't make everybody happy,
right?
And some parents are going to believe that their child didn't hit first, right? Until I pull up the beautiful B footage. Here, let me pull up these camera footage for you so you can see your child, little Johnny, in action. There's no little Johnny. I'm just using Johnny, y'all.
Just using Johnny.
But so that's normally what I do. And sometimes you do have to pull up the cameras, which is frustrating to show the parents that their child is being the aggressor.
Yeah. And so typically when you have that conversation, how does the parent respond?
It just depends. Like some parents take it and some parents don't. Not my child. My baby, somebody must have did him something. If he did, I'd be like, hold on, come back. And I go through that camera footage and have them wait until I find it because I like to prove a point.
And so when you actually do that, right? Because there's policies and procedures in place when you have the hitting and the biting. Have you ever had to deal with a parent who just did not respect your policies?
Come on now, I got a 24-hour daycare center. They think they children
because
they got 24 hours.
Yeah.
No, ma'am, I give you 10 hours. Yeah. And most daycares don't give you that. We like to give you an hour to get to work and an hour to get back, right?
Yes, because we went down to 9.
So you already know because they will overuse it, right?
Yeah.
And so when they do that, I charge them $1 per minute. So once I hit you with $1 per minute, you got 2 children. That's $120. You're not gonna do it no more. And I don't do it the first time, right? I understand stuff happened. I'm not gonna do it the second time, the third time. Now you're taking my kindness for weakness, and you just gotta stay firm to your policies, and whatever your policy book states, that's what I go by, and that's what it states in our policy book.
And so when the parent picks up late, it's $1 per minute after the 10 hours.
Yes.
Yep. I would.
And I charged it.
That's all I'm thinking. Most of it be like $25 or $50 for the first 5 minutes, and then $1 a minute after that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And then $1 a minute after that.
So what would you increase it to?
I would probably do something because you got to think of your parents. If the punishment is not steep enough, then it doesn't really affect. Or I just pay that extra $20. Or I just pay extra. If it's $25 or $50, because I was went up to $50.
Okay.
$50 after the first 5 minutes, and then $1 a minute after that.
Okay.
Come on now, do the calculations.
I told you,
and they gotta pay it at pickup or by drop off the next morning because. The reason being is they on your time now, first of all. Second of all, how that may be causing you to have to pay a teacher time and a half now.
Yep.
You have to be able to recoup that time and a half amount.
Yep.
And so really, does $1 a minute suffice for that?
Not really.
Right. You gotta make it impactful to them parents where they feel it.
I'm gonna need that orientation packet and that registration packet.
Girl, we gonna talk about that's what we do around. We collaborate, not compete around here.
Yes, most definitely.
But no, I really wanted to come in because again, you all have been in the game for a while. Yeah. You all definitely have quite a few relationships circulating in the city. So people know you all, they know you. And so I wanted to have the conversation on parents and their expectations. And for the most part, you all run a great organization, you all run a great program. How do you think that you all keep because what you see with Tashika right now is what you get. She real life. She gonna have them real conversations. How do you think that plays in you keeping great relationships with your parents?
I think by me being so real and authentic, and I'm not having to put on a front, they relate to me. They know who I am, right? Like you say, what you see is what you get. Like I said before, I have those hard conversations that a lot of people don't want to have, and they respect that. And in the beginning, I let people know who I am. I let them know our policies, and as a result, I get repeat customers. They have more children. They send their children. They tell their friends about us. So it's a lot of word of mouth is how we get children, and then people, they watch, and so they know who I am, and they know that they can trust their children with me, right? And so I think that's what it is. I think that's how we get repeat business, and I think that's how I get their trust.
And build those relationships.
Just being myself, not just don't put on a facade. Just be yourself, your authentic self, and people are either gonna gravitate to you or they're not.
Right.
And you're gonna accept me for who I am or you're not.
Right.
But
And they're
this
gonna
is who
learn
I
to trust
am.
you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I really wanted you on to talk about these parents and unrealistic expectations. I really enjoyed this segment of it.
Thank you so much, Stacey. I appreciate it. But I bought this for you.
Oh, thank you.
So that way you can read to your babies,
Yes,
the no touch
ma'am.
zones. You guys can find that on Amazon. And I also have a coloring book as well. But I came up with the no touch zones because I am a survivor of child abuse.
Okay, tell the story. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna tell you that this was going on for so long. I didn't even know I was being abused.
Oh, really?
I didn't even realize it, right, until it got worse. Okay. And so by me going through this is why I always gravitated towards children. I wanted to always protect children.
Okay.
Right. And so any child that I encounter, I ask them and I teach them about the no touch zones. Right.
Okay.
And God had put it on my heart, and He's been telling me to do it and telling me to do it and telling me to do it, but it's so hard because you don't want to hurt certain people. But God said, don't worry about them. I got them.
Right.
And so He called me to do it. And so I've been wrote it, but I'm just releasing it.
Oh, really?
I'm just releasing it. It was hard. It was hard to come out and tell my
a journey.
story. It was definitely a journey. It was definitely therapeutic.
A healing process, would you say?
Definitely a healing process. I'm just so grateful that I have been able to save 4 kids from being abused to stop the abuse since I came out with my book.
Amen.
Amen. We have to start the conversation about good touch and bad touch. It's never too early. I was being abused at 2 years old and didn't know it, right?
No, of course.
I didn't know that it was inappropriate. You have to start the conversation before it's too late. A lot of people say, not my baby. Not my brother, not my uncle, not my dad, not my husband. I could go on and on. And women are child abusers as well, right? You should see the statistics on it. It is crazy. Okay, so you have to get out that mind frame, right? Because that's what people thought about my grandparents, right? And the whole time that was something that was going on. So I created this book. It's a situational book, right?
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a storybook. It's a situational book where it's putting your child in different scenarios, right?
Okay.
And so that way, if your child is ever in that scenario, they would know what to do, how to handle it, right? Know that they can trust you, they can come talk to you, and tell them the people that they can talk to, just in case the perpetrator is in the home and they don't feel safe.
Right.
Telling that person. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, start the conversation right now. Y'all get the book. It is age appropriate from anywhere from 2 years old all the way to 12 years of age. And this is not a one-time read. You want to keep reinforcing it and reinforcing it and reinforcing it.
Right.
Just to give you a little background on what recently happened to me, what I got DM. A woman told me she purchased a book. She heard my story, right? And her husband was so upset when he saw the book. Oh, my baby's too young to learn about this. Took the book, hid it. So that made her take pause, and she was like, what?
Why you hide the book?
Why you hide the book? So when he was not there, she read the book to him. And guess what? That's the father was abusing the child. And so she thanked me so much. I got chills. And I just want to stop this from happening to other children. Y'all start the conversation. Don't make it a taboo type of thing. Y'all talk to y'all children. And one more thing that I'm gonna say is that even though on here I'm not fully naming the parts, it's saying bottom, chest, private, mouth, and private. A lot of these perpetrators are getting off because they're not using the words. You have to use the words penis, vagina. You have to use it because when they're being interviewed, they get let off because we're teaching our children the wrong words. Right? Their purse. No, what is it?
Right.
It's a vagina. Say it. It's not a nasty word. It's a penis. Say that word so your children know. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
But that goes back to what we talk about in childcare. Stop calling them Dede and Doo Doo and that use their actual names. We often want to create some kind of catchy name or catchy phrase when we actually need to be saying the factual name.
Like
you
it's
know?
you know what I'm trying to say. Diag. Say it for me, Stacey.
I don't know what you said.
Y'all know what I mean.
What we said.
The put it in the comments. Y'all know what I was trying to say.
Yeah, okay. Y'all know what she's saying. But no, you're actually right. We have to get used to saying saying the verbs. And what's so, impactful about your story when you told me about it and you came out with, I was like, damn, that's cool. It actually took me back to a place where I was put in a compromising situation. A young child, an older gentleman, and I could remember and I'll be transparent, I could remember the guy pushed me up against the brick wall on side of our house, right? And he went to feeling on me and I ran and I got scared. And I never told my mama. I acted real different with her and she couldn't understand what was wrong. But I was like this with my auntie, my dad's twin sister. And I rode my bike by her house and I told her everything that happened. And that was who communicated with my mama. And so again, having that person you can have these conversations with, letting them know who you can have those conversations with is very important. And just to highlight this, in early learning centers, we do hard work with these families. Your centers are real similar to mine. It Takes a Village Academy. We deal with a lot of single parent households, poverty, people where, sometimes you got young moms and dads, boyfriends coming in and out the residence and things.
Exactly.
We have to be an eye and an ear and available. Lord rest her soul. I have a parent who actually killed one of her children. Yeah, she's serving life in jail right now. This was a family of ours who, we tried to counsel with and pray with and build them. And she was a great mom, great mom. But something happened where, it just all went terribly, terribly wrong, and it takes a village. One of the things we try to do is not only be a support to the children, but a family as a whole, right?
Yeah.
And so having conversations with like No Touch Zone with the parents where they can have the conversations with their children, that allows us to build bridges and stop, pedophile and different things in our communities, one of the centers, and I'm not going to speak too much of it, but one of the centers, because there are certain screenings that we have to offer in our centers because of that grant program, they were able to find that this child had a rare cancer, right? At the age of like maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
Or something like that. I'm sad to say the child did pass, but because of this screening, it allowed the family to know what was going on. Say that there wasn't this early learning center that went a step further, that cared a little bit more, that did those types of testing. This family would have probably never found this on time to know what it was and enjoy as much time as they could with their child, right?
Yeah.
So the same with the No Touch Zone.
That's my goal, to actually get this book in every school possible, right? I have wrote a proposal and a grant and I'm gonna actually send it off because that's the goal. That's the goal.
And then reality is 9 times out of 10 is somebody right in your own backyard.
Yeah.
It's not a stranger. It's not us. It's not somebody far fetched. It's typically a lot of times it's somebody right in your own household or a close family member or friend.
Yes, it is.
Yes, yes. Well, I am absolutely thrilled that you bought that. I got a copy of the No Touch Zone.
Yes, I gotta sign it for you.
Yes, ma'am. But tell the people again where they can find it. And even hear the song.
Oh yeah, the song, the No Touch Zone song, written by my daughter Jewel Diamond. It is on Amazon. The cartoon music video, but it's on all platforms.
It is
Y'all go listen to it. And we also have the bounce song as well, because this is New Orleans. Y'all know we're gonna have the bounce. We're gonna make it fun when the children learn, and that way it's gonna stick in their brains. So that way, if it does happen, they're gonna remember the song. But yes, it's on YouTube, the song, Amazon, the book, and I also have a coloring book as well.
Yes.
And if you want the posters, y'all just hit me up. It's Tashika Honore on Facebook, SJM number 4 ever on Instagram.
That's right. And we can make sure that all these links are followed, but we definitely wanted to give you an opportunity to talk
you,
about this.
Stacey.
Yes, indeed. This is very important. And the fact that, you know what, let me hold your hand while I say this. The fact that you went through the process, the courage it took for you to recognize something wasn't right and know that you wanted to save others. I know it was a transformation, and I'm being honest. I know it was a transformation. I know it was probably heavy for you.
It was.
It was probably heavy for you. But as you say, think of the lives you can save by doing so, by just being vocal. And they look, it's you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not certain, like how we say, or who you think is homeless is not the homeless person. The regular, everyday people, they can happen
It's the
to.
regular, everyday people. It's your grandfather, it's your husband, it's your boyfriend, it's your son,
It's your
the uncle, it's your auntie.
Yeah.
It could be anybody, y'all.
Absolutely.
So just read the book and educate your children so they can have the tools.
Yes. So let me wrap this up. I am so happy to have Tashika Honore here on the Child Care Teacher Chronicles, representing the Love Center and the Love Center 24 hours.
Yes.
Child Care Center. Again, I want you to make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. But again, we look forward to seeing you, and we'll talk to you soon.